It's me, Oracle Brigette, and I have some news. I have some spiritual news. Take a deep breath. We're in 5D. 5D is here. 5D snuck up on us a little bit. Look around. Did you have any idea 5D would look like this? Whatever's holding you back and holding you down, you're choosing it, and that's wild, because then now I'm receiving that as a light code for myself. I'm like, okay, well, what is holding me back? What is holding me down? Oh, what am I choosing? So don't do any of the things that I just naturally did in response to the light code that I just gave you. To try to mentalize or logicize, to try and make sense with your left brain. Any light code that I ever give would be like chasing your tail. These are right-brained messages. These are spirit messages coming from a divine feminine. So in order to receive this goddess type created energy, you must to be in that same state of receptivity in your divine feminine, whether you are a man or woman or something in between. Take a deep breath. Know that when you inhale and you inflate your lungs, you're activating your 5D portal. Oh, so of course we're in 5D. I breathe, so I'm in 5D. Almost everyone gets access to 5D. There's a 1%, maybe 1-2%, it's really a 1% that do not get access into 5D, and that's simply because they don't have human bodies. We think they have human bodies, but they actually don't. But we're not going to focus on that. I just want to take this time now, and I'm just going to chill with you and talk out this energy and share this energy in the manner that it's coming off. To remind you, or to tell you the news, that we're in 5D. 5D is here. We were all like, oh, we gotta raise our vibration. We gotta access 5D. I don't want to miss out on 5D. What about co-creation? Co-creation, the rule which says anything that is manifested, we only manifest 50%. The universe meets you halfway, always. So of course it would be the same when it comes to manifesting the fifth dimension. What we thought was us doing our 50%, our part of co-creation, all the angels, spirit guides, gods and all, God and all, universe was looking and being like, God, they are really overworking themselves. The power to them. They're like, oh, I can't wait till these planets do this thing so they can start to relax. So we can relax a little bit. Stop trying to get 5D to manifest, it's here. So the real question is, why can't I just be happy and okay with reality and connected to spirit and functioning as my spirit? Take a deep breath, and I want to ask you, can you come into communion with how gorgeous you are, how handsome you are, how fucking beautiful your physical body is? Do you understand that your physical body is an actual manifestation of your spirit? It was no mistake that this spirit has incarnated into this body. Take a deep breath. It's divine, baby. Now, there are so many reasons why the human body is incredible in a spiritual and in a multidimensional way. But in this moment, I want to remind you that this body is the expression of your spirit. Express yourself, baby. This body is an expression of your spirit. You could be playing it very small in how you physically present yourself, and spirit is not satisfied. Spirit's like you're keeping baby in a corner. Dirty Dancing reference. It's, your spirit is expansive, multi-dimensional. And on one dimension, the 10th dimension, you have wings. All of these timelines, future as it may seem to you, are actually parallel to this very now moment. And so when I say 5D is here, I'm not trying to fuck with you or make you like, ooh, tricked ya. No, I'm literally saying it is in the nature of your soul, no matter what your vibration is. If you have a soul in a human body, then it is in the nature of your soul in response to the cosmic energy and Mama Gaia's timeline to do certain things. And in this moment, it is the activation of the 5th dimensional self and the full-time resonance existing in the 5th dimension. Because it's here, it's more work to not. So obviously you can imagine how this is going to be wild for every single fucking human on Earth. All of us, except for people like under the age of 16 because they're super crystalline. All of us were born in hell on Earth. We were literally born into the vibration of hell on Earth. We've been living hell up till now. No more. Surprise, big news. 5D is here. It snuck up on us. We thought we understood co-creation. I go halfway, the universe meets me there, and the universe was like, baby, you're still going too far. Because guess what? Zoop, zoop. You thought you had to take 5 steps. You took 1, that's all I needed you to take was the 1. And then I got you. We're in the 5th dimension. Surprise! We're here, my loves. Okay? We're here. A lot of you have been coming to me for energy reports for years. We made it, baby! Oh. Much less work than we thought. For us spiritual people who know about Ascension and who have been doing the spiritual work and working our asses off. But for everybody else, potentially, because there's a caveat, but I'll get to the caveat in a moment. For everybody else who have potentially perfected or mastered, or not, have been fucking struggling, life in hell on earth, which is anything prior to this now moment, because now we're in heaven on earth. It's happened. The shift has occurred. Boom. Good work, soul fucking team. Good fucking work. We did it. Anyways, people who are not on this spiritual shit, who are not aware, la 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 la, you know what I'm talking about. People who are plugged into the matrix, they still get access to 5D. 5D's here for them too. But imagine being in a body that has been trained to grow accustomed to hell on earth vibrations, and imagine training yourself and learning how to survive in hell on earth the way we all have for most of our lives. And then all of a sudden a shift happening in the external, actual physical world and vibrational world around us. Zoop! Upshift. We're given access. But no one told us how to let go of the old behavior that we trained ourselves in how to survive in hell on earth. So now, depending on how much of that programming you've got going on, is going to really determine how challenging this coming cosmic energy is. We're going to see people with very strong psychic bloodlines we're going to start to see them seeking more mental health professionals. So if you feel called to become a mental health professional and you're also spiritually aware, please do that, because the world needs you. Because when people's powers come online, it can be a little overwhelming, and sometimes it can feel like schizophrenia, or maybe some people have schizophrenia. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm the spiritual teacher and friend, but mostly a teacher, so don't flirt with me. Okay, so we're in 5D. Everything you're looking at is in 5D. And everything you're experiencing that is discomfort is the suit of 3D that you forced yourself to wear and behave in your entire life. It is no longer valid. It's null and void. You're still manifesting it because that's what you think you need to do to survive. And that's what we're given these next 6 months until January 21st, 2021, when the portals open and close. Gloop, gloop, gloop. Some would call this the fourth dimension, since technically 3D is still existent. I just want to remind you guys. Oh, and I have a caveat to tell you about. I didn't forget. I just want to remind you guys that time is not linear. So even when 3D closes, right, or when we shift into 5D, which has already happened, 3D will always be existent because the past is always existent, because these are timelines that are all parallel to each other. Past, present, future, all parallel. That's why I say if you love someone once, you will love them forever, or you didn't truly love them at all. Time is multidimensional. If you can remember when you loved someone, that love is still alive in that dimension. That's just how it goes. So know that even when 3D is closed and hell on earth isn't something that we exist in anymore, which is our now moment already, we will always know and feel the potential to be able to access the third dimension of hell on earth. Of course, the timeline will always exist because it has existed. And while it's true, many of us continue to collapse parallel timelines, we can only collapse parallel timelines that are parallel to the now moment. That's why astral travel, especially astral travel in the dream state, is so important. Because we are literally traversing a multidimensional, timeless space, passing through the Akash, you could say, in order to ensure that certain timelines parallel to the now moment do not occur. Some people have already reached the necessary vibration for ascension, which most of us have already reached, in a past life. So many people who are not spiritual, who don't give a fuck about anything spiritual at all, or self-awareness, mental, nothing, they actually reached ascension in a past life. In this life, they just get it. They're just naturally kind people. I'm sure you've met at least one person, maybe not. Just naturally kind, naturally give great advice, like, aren't, they just seem really solid and secure, and they just, do good things in the world, but then they're not really super spiritual or anything, and it's like, wow, you're an earth angel, but you don't even know you're an earth angel. They don't need to know they're an earth angel. They did the work in the past life. And so many people will not have that much trouble starting to understand and cognitively process the shift that has already happened. They will experience less cognitive dissonance because that soul has lived those past lives and reached those vibrations. And so the soul recognizes it and it starts to feel more natural. We should start to feel more at home. Now let me remind you, time is not linear. So if I'm talking about past lives we may have had, understand these past lives may exist in future times. So then that's 10D you, that in 7 bagillion years you exist as a being in the 10th dimension. Well, if that's you, then that timeline is existing parallel to this very now moment. Do you get the light code that I've been streaming through here? I feel like you have. I feel like that's been clear. So that was the caveat that I wanted to share. That some people are not spiritual, yet will not have any trouble shifting into the fifth dimension with us. Because you don't know their timelines, baby. So worry about yourself. Or don't worry at all. Worry is a construct of the third dimensional hell on earth. Unnecessary discomfort. Okay? Unnecessary discomfort. Unnecessary discomfort. An image I often talk to you guys about is this concept of vibe shifting out of other people's view. So, imagine, you know how sometimes you'll like see something in your peripheral vision in the corner of your eye? Shoom, 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 shoom. You're like, what's that? Oh, I don't know. That's how high vibrating beings are for low vibrating beings. Beings can exist on the same physical plane in our new now moment, right? Beings can exist on the same physical plane and still not, in the low vibrating being, still cannot access the higher vibrating being. It's like they know they're there, but they just keep seeming to miss them somehow, and they can't ever seem to link up. That is innate, that is divine. That is a result of vibrations. So in this time and in these next 6 months, we're really going to notice the strong polarity in the vibrations. Some people just feel more comfortable in hell on earth, and that's better for them. But then they do a DNA test and it turns out they're not human, so it's fucking divine, okay? I would love it if you could focus your energy on understanding how you can refuel your energy with your breath. Deep breaths, and also a steadiness in your allowance to let your lungs do their thing. You're recharging your chi, that's like your chi generator. Recharging your life force energy. And I want you to, if you care about my wants, as your spiritual teacher and friend, I want you to imagine yourself as a sun. Imagine yourself as a sun, emanating light. Oh, coming off of you. Oh. That should bring you some peace. Brings me peace. That is the conscious activation of the light body. Guess what? Your light body's activated whether you like it or not. I love this shit. I love this shit, you guys. I'm interrupting my light codes just to be human for a moment, to let you know that I love this shit that's coming through, that I'm bringing through for my spirit, for us, through my 5D portal of my fucking heart chakra. I love this shit. I love this shit. Ah, the time of the efforting is over. So funny. I mean, the original 5D gurus, the originals, you know, Eckhart and those. Just be in the now, right? Now it makes sense. Now it's like, oh shit. My loves, if you can just stop all the whatever's going on in here and just like look around and be really present physically, for 90% of you, you will find that you're actually okay and things are actually quite good. In that space where you're able to turn off the programming enough to realize that you don't actually need to function with the programming and you can function completely on auto soul pilot without the extra programming, because those survival skills are no longer needed because we're no longer in the third dimension, we are in the fifth dimension. In that space where you turn off, I don't want to say the mind, but I'm going to say the mind, where you turn off the mind, where you're able to release the programming, if even for a moment, that state of peace, you regenerate so quickly, physically. Physically, your heartstrings that may have been broken from heartbreak, even neural pathways Take a deep breath. It's why meditation is so powerful. But remember, the fifth dimension is almost a constant state of meditation, and we're already in the fifth dimension. So we should be able, I use the word should, fuck it. We should be able to access a meditative state without doing much at all. It should feel as if a state of meditation is the natural state of the soul. As if your soul is naturally inwardly magnetized to that feeling. Because that is a reflection of the fifth dimensional energy that is around us right now. And we are in the fifth dimension. And so you're on your fifth dimensional grid already. It's here, you're on it. Okay? That doesn't mean you don't have free will. So, I'm happy you're here to receive these light codes so that you can start to utilize your free will in a way that can have you start to interact with life in a more fifth dimensional manner, because we can. Because we can, and we deserve it, and it's our birthright. Again, you have no right to try and force anyone into shadow work at this time. Those days are over. I support being an inspirer. I support sharing spirit messages like this. I support doing your thing. But if you ever find yourself or your energy creating something where it feels like you're doing this, that is wrong, baby, okay? So, hope I can clear some things up. My loves, I see you writing comments, but it's like I can't read them because I'm in too much of this like state, and I don't want to lose it. So just know I love you a lot. I love you a lot. When we were in hell on earth, if you were to like get still and kind of look around, it would feel like everything is constantly attacking you. It's because your light was trying to shine and your programming was fighting it. It was like a whole conflicted process being in the third dimension. Thank God that's over. I mean, at the same time, it will always be existent if it's a component of your timeline. It will always be occurring as a past timeline. However, you're anchored into the now moment, and you have 100% sovereignty over your energy and how you respond to your emotions. So, yeah, it's true. I do say if you were a victim once, you're a victim forever, because that timeline's not going anywhere. But you have other timelines and other experiences too that are also proof of your power and strength. And that holds so much more weight compared to whatever shitty shit we've been through. Fifth dimension is here now, my loves. Right now. And it's not going anywhere. But you know who's going places? You are. You get to choose. Some people. I swear, some people are going to have a completely non-spiritual experience of all of this. How much, Spirit? Can I get a number? 30%? 30% of humans are going to effortlessly shift into this fifth dimension and start to integrate with the fifth dimension without even needing to get woke or spiritually do anything. This is why it's like you have no right to try and force spiritual messages on people. Y'all are here because you want to be here. I'm not holding any of you to it. Some people don't fucking need the spiritual message. They're just gonna shift. And then we're all hanging out in heaven on earth, and yay for us. It's divine. It's divine. I mean, imagine a soul incarnates so many times, has been through so much. And they're like, you know what? Let me just incarnate this time like non-spiritual. Please give me a break. Who knows? And so I want to remind you, it's your natural state to emanate light. Light is emanating off of you if you are a soul embodied. Now let's talk about the amazingness that is the human body for a little bit. So Your human body is incredible. Do you understand that this one body has traversed the 3rd, 4th, and now 5th dimensional planes? Only a human body is capable of traversing the 3rd dimension and up. There are species that can traverse the 3rd dimension, conscious species, but they cannot traverse the 5th dimension. And there are other species that can traverse the higher vibrational planes, but cannot interact or traverse the lower vibrational planes. This is why we don't see aliens. This is why we don't see most high vibrating energy beings that have bodies that aren't disembodied. We don't see them because they can't vibrate in the dimension that we were existing in. Allow me to remind you, we're in the 5th dimension now. So this is a realm that is able to interact physically with high vibrational beings. So that's going to be fucking wild. If you end up interacting with Archangel Michael or some angels in the physical without astral traveling, please let me know. Please send me a DM. I would love to hear about that experience. Like, I wonder if that's what's going to happen. I kind of don't want to ask Spirit. I'd rather keep it open. That almost feels like too much for me. Too much energy behind that question. I don't want to know, Spirit. Just surprise me. Spirit's a surprise. It's okay. So it's the human being that can live in the low vibration of the 3rd dimension, hell on earth, and can survive in the 4th and 5th and higher as well. It's the human being. And I want you to know that as we continue to raise our vibration and go higher and higher, we're going to get to interact with beings that can't exist, that never could talk to us before, because we weren't on that level yet. So just like how earlier in this video, I was talking about how low vibrating people, low vibrating beings, and high vibrating beings, how for the low vibrating being, it seems like the high vibrating being is always in their peripheral vision. They can't seem to interact with them. That's what it's kind of like right now with these other dimensional beings. Oftentimes this is why we predominantly interact with our spirit and angel guides in the psychic realm. In the psychic realm. Now some of us, our spirit and angel guides, most of us, are not even in the 5th dimension. They're in the 12th through 24th dimensions. So we're going to go to the 5th dimension, and it's just going to give us a better through line to our spirit and angel guides, but we're not actually going to be like seeing them in the physical yet. So the reason that our physical body doesn't traverse the 2nd dimension is because that is the astral plane. That is the plane we access with our spiritual body only. That's the realm of like the lower hell, and that's the realm of like lost souls, sad lost souls, we should say, or low. I don't want to judge. Pretend I didn't say the word sad, okay? I don't want to be judgmental. Lost souls, it's kind of a demonic realm. That's the 2nd dimension. Access through spirit only, through astral travel. Then, 4th dimension is a state of mind. It purely exists so that your brain can, not your brain, your awareness, your consciousness, your cognitive processor can expand slowly into the light codes and the truths and the awarenesses of the 5th dimension. Like, I'm not sure what your first rabbit hole was, what your first red pill moment was, what your first spiritual moment was, or if you're like me, just ever since you were a kid, this stuff interested you. My parents were completely not religious or spiritual. You are a spiritual being if you have a soul and a body and a human body. And if you have a human body, all these messages are for you. If you don't, I hope you like the light codes. But if you're not a soul and a human body, then the light codes just aren't for you. I can only speak from experience for my beings. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. So welcome to the 5th dimension. Welcome to the 5th dimension. On this plane, sorry chair, I did not mean to disturb you. Welcome to the 5th dimension. On this plane, we're motored by the heart chakra. So take a deep breath and know that you are a God being. You are a light being. You have creator abilities. We are the ones who run the businesses and such, build the framework of new reality in the 5th dimension. Because as we're seeing, the 3rd dimensional framework was completely null and void. And so as people continue to realize and embody into the now moment, realize like, oh my God, this all actually, like, if I just turn off my TV and I'm just like present in my like community and in my like life in my house, in my neighborhood, I'm gonna realize, oh shit, I actually feel really good. This all is actually beautiful. This is freaking beautiful. The more you start to interact with reality in that way and kind of almost expecting that, that's living in the 5th dimension. Having an open heart. And, you know, being willing to wield your sword of light if needed. You gotta cut someone down with your sword of light. You need to rebuke or remind any energies that you do not consent to external energies to influence or affect your energy or body in any way, and so it is in your name. You gotta do it. And you gotta do that. That was a lot of energy, right? Woo! That was a lot. She did it. So good. She's so wonderful. She's so wonderful. Such a goddess. To exist as a goddess. What a blessing. Guess what? You too are a god / goddess. It's time. The golden age of Gaia, my loves. The gates are open. Okay? So exist and take a deep breath. We're here. Stop hustling and working so hard, okay? The only things that are going to be hard for some people to do right now are realizing that all the shit they taught themselves how to do that makes life so uncomfortable, they don't even have to like adhere to it anymore. And the thing is, it's not necessarily, that's not necessarily going to be hard. It's not going to be like, oh, I got to release the, oh. Instead, it's going to be like, bloop, oh my God, that stuff doesn't actually matter. It's going to be natural. Every part of you as a human, if you're a soul in a human body, is eligible for the 5th dimension, gets access, and so the 5th dimension is here for you. It's just really hard to feel comfortable when you're making yourself suffer, because I'm not judging you, me too. We grew up in hell on earth. Shnikes. What an incredible body this is. What an incredible species I am. I survived hell on earth, and so did you. What's next, my loves? What's next? It's not just me who's going to determine what's next. All of us. What's next for you? So what do you want to manifest now that we're in heaven on earth? Let's get it going, people, because we need to start creating some new energies in the collective. It's time to start to activate your creator vision, your creator mind, your creator's eye. Look inward, filter every idea through that 5D heart chakra, and let's start doing some shit. Start having fun. I need you to invent something. I'm gonna need you to, what else? Create art and blast it out there. Just share your light codes. What do you want your life to be now that we're in the fifth dimension? And spiritually and energetically, the things that used to hold you back from bringing your highest vibrational and truest self now completely facilitate you towards that. It's going to go up and up and up and up. So I need you to start putting these manifestation things we've been practicing while we were in hell on earth. Start putting these manifestation things to good use. They're going to be super helpful. Your vision board, super helpful. And I used to hate on vision boards because, like, I don't know why I didn't want to do one. No, I have a vision board in my mind. Which you can do. You don't have to do a vision board. Do a vision board in your mind. What do you want? Make sure you know. What do you want? What do you want? Hey, babe, what do you want? Whatever you want, baby, whatever you want. Filter through the heart chakra, make sure it's 5D. Whatever you want, baby, what do you want? You got it, okay? You want that? You got it, babe, you got it. You got it, my love. You got it. I'm hoping you also feel the gravity of the responsibility that comes with it. It may even resonate as a little sense of nervousness, hesitancy even, to really visualize that which you want. Because it's like, what, do you really want that? Because one, if you don't really want it, it's not going to ring as true, and so you won't manifest it. Or it'll be some aberrant manifestation, right? Maybe. Who knows what your timelines are. So yeah, it's okay to, I was about to prepare to manifest, and then something inside me held back. Listen to yourself. Make sure this stays a full mind, body, spirit process, and the mind just processes things. The spirit is going to inform you of things. The body feels emotions, and sometimes emotions are educational, but for the most part, it's really important that we just witness these emotions and let them happen and understand that emotions are a physical process. In response, definitely, to psychological triggers and external reality triggers, yeah, nothing wrong with emotions, right? I just want to remind you of that. So, journal a little bit, or spend some time daydreaming, love dreaming. It's time to reconnect with best case scenario and what you want best case scenario to be. And just focus on your own self and your own life. That's all you got power over anyways. We only access the collective through our own self. So it's like I make changes in my body and in my actual vibration, and that's how I help other people. Not by bypassing doing anything with my vibration and just trying to get other people to change. That I could not. That would not be authentic. That would be so fucked up for me to do that to you. I do it first. I always guinea pig all of these things on myself. And now as a goddess, I come to you confident in these light codes. Okay, you might want to start to dress differently. Present yourself in your more godly manner, whatever that is for you. More colors, probably. More colors, funkier hairstyles. We're in the future, my loves. We're in the fifth dimension. I need you to try and just activate whatever Aquarius energy you've got. Funk it up. I guess that's not the right word usage, whatever. You know what I mean? What do you want the future to look like? What do you want future you to look like? Do it now. Just be that. Nothing is holding you back. This is your realm. We are human beings, the masters of time and space on the earth plane, because it's human beings, aka earthlings. We're the fingers of earth. Oh. And then our soul is the fingers of God. Oh. Boom, in one. It's divine. This vessel, this physical body, is divinely meant and intended to channel you. And so make sure you let it. And by it, I mean let your soul be channeled through your physical body fully. Take a deep breath. My hair looks awesome. I'm so glad we got this on video today. I love you guys. I love you. I love you. It may feel like a back and forth in the beginning. Feeling how you may naturally or in the beginning innately, more habitually want to project a 5D. Ooh. You may innately want to project. It's more of a habit. I'm going to get the Lightcode out, don't worry. You may innately or habitually feel the urge to project 3D on top of the 5D that is around you, and that's something you could do, right? Like rose-colored glasses, but shit-colored glasses, like hell on earth glasses. You could, if you wanted to. You can always interact with the third dimension, heaven on earth, hell on earth rather. Excuse me. I'm staring right at myself. Maybe I need to look out the window as I channel this. Because we've experienced the third dimension, hell on earth, it will always exist as a parallel past timeline. Past irrelevant parallel timeline. So yeah, anyone, any human who has survived hell on earth can revisit that energy and project it whenever they want. So keep an eye out. You'll be able to sense, like, oh, I feel funk. Some low vibration energy coming in. For the most part, they're not even going to feel compelled to interact with you because you're gonna like vibe shift in and out of their peripheral vision. So, but still, don't test it. You have to put yourself right in the line of fire with someone who you know is still projecting hell on earth. It's weird, you know, but that's what it is. If you've got survival techniques that worked in hell on earth and you're still trying to utilize those now in our new dimension of the fifth dimension, you're projecting hell on earth out for yourself in your life, in your experience. So, spiritual guidance wise, be willing to be curious about the things you do. And does that really work for me? I just thought something. Does that really work for me? I just did something that I always do, but does that really work for me? I just put this outfit on, but does this really work for me? I want you to take a double take at everything. Double take. Yeah, this feels good. Or, you know what? I'm used to doing this, but it doesn't feel good for my soul. Or I want to try this other thing. Or maybe I'm realizing this thing I used to do, that I feel habitually that I want to do, is unnecessary effort, and I can just turn off that entire construct in my mind, bloop, and never return to it ever again. 5D is this peaceful dimension where the mind is a processor. Our thoughts are not so tumultuous. And so allow yourself access to the potential of feeling some kind of mental peace. Allow yourself access to the potential to just feel stillness and access the fifth dimension now. Boom. Don't make such a big deal about it, because you're actually disrespecting spirit and the universe and all things divine by implying that 5D should be more challenging than that. Who are you to say what 5D should be, baby? 5D is already here. So deny it all you want. You're going to experience that discomfort for yourself. And the people around you who continue to raise their vibration may vibe shift out of your awareness. You may no longer get access to them because vibrationally you cannot reach them. And vice versa too, obviously. As in, other people in your life might not be able to reach you. But humans can always interact with the lower vibrations. The human being is capable, always. So you will always feel the potential to access the hell on earth vibration. Yes, we've traversed that portal many times. There are actually many other dimensions that we can also access. So it's going to be really fun when we stop obsessing over the hell portals. and start living in the now moment of the fifth dimension, so that we can start to interact with these other components of life. If life is naturally magical, then what good are fantasy movies? If life is naturally magical, innately magical, then how exciting are TV shows? And so, as you lose interest in traditional forms of entertainment, or potentially as traditional forms of entertainment become more and more unavailable, I want to remind you that everything is divine, and there are some magical things happening in your body and in your life, and potentials and things to feel with other people too, that are quite more entertaining than any TV show would be. And your physical experience and your interaction with your life can get very delicious and enjoyable, and you're really going to start to feel facilitated by spirit, depending on how comfortable you are with being facilitated by your own spirit, allowing your own divine soul to fully possess your body and not letting any other influences in. You haven't been practicing that for a while, or in a past life, then yeah, it might be a little challenging. If you trained yourself how to shut your spirit up, and now your spirit's like, we're in the fifth dimension, and you're like, shut up. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. None of this should feel like work. This should feel like an expansion of spirit, an energizing of the soul. This should feel like the coming into awareness of the activation of the light body, the God body. The activation of the heart chakra as a portal. And the conscious, not even conscious, the unconscious, constant riding in existence in the Merkaba, in the Taurus field that goes through the heart chakra. Take a deep breath and know that if you are a human with a soul in your body, then you are a divine being, and your body is capable of recharging and regenerating in a multitude of ways when we access this fifth dimensional peace energy. One day after January 21st, 2021, once some other portals close, which I will talk about in another video, then we will begin to be able to do some really amazing things, passing energy through our body into other people's bodies. I'm not going to talk about any of those powers yet, because that's a whole other video and a whole other set of downloads that I'm still kind of integrating. But I can definitely confirm for you, as your spiritual guide and teacher, that the fifth dimension is here, okay? So look around and interact with life in that manner. Defend that space inside of you. And sometimes you have to defend that peaceful space inside of you from yourself, from other habitual ways of being. You have to say, oh, you know what, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. I don't want to be that or do that anymore. The time now is to create. It's time to harbor in the Renaissance, my loves. The fifth dimensional Renaissance. The age of Aquarius. Allow me, an earth angel, to blow the horn. Burr, burr, burr. The fifth dimension is here. What's best case scenario? What do you want it to look like, baby? Please interact with it in that manner. The time is now to create. If you have a new business idea and you've never seen anything like it before, go for it. It's time to just start building on this fifth dimension. Just start building as a fifth dimensional being on this fifth dimension. Allow this Renaissance to activate in your spirit. It will happen for all of us innately. We won't even realize it's happening at the same time. I am here to herald the energy in for you and to remind you of something that is going to occur if it has not already occurred. To hold space for yourself to be that creator, to be that God, to be that goddess, because they're here. Your God self is here. Respect it. Respect it by utilizing your power of creation for your own well-being first, which means your free will, which was a third and fourth dimensional concept, becomes the power of creation in the fifth dimension. And so make sure things that you did habitually with your free will and your old selves, now that you've upgraded, ensure you are not utilizing your power of creation to manifest some old low vibrational constructs. Check your habits. Build new ones. Or not, whatever you want. Life feels good in the fifth dimension. It does. And I want you to stay with an open heart and be very compassionate for those who do not believe it. They may not be human in their DNA. They might not be human. And so they don't even have a future timeline where they exist in the fifth dimension because it's not meant for them, okay? So no point in arguing with anybody or trying to force anything on anyone, convince anyone of anything. Just respect your God self that way. Explain myself. You want me to explain myself? How dare you? You know an explanation for when spirit tells you to do something. If you choose to educate them on where you're coming from, that is your choice. But you do not owe anybody anything in terms of spirit. This is spiritual guidance. Please consider the option that you are one of the participants who heralds in the golden age of Gaia. Please hold space for yourself to be able to manifest into the God, goddess that you are. Please hold space for yourself and have an open mind as you may choose to change the way you present yourself or dress. You may want to go hyper femme if divine femme is activating. You might just want to create your own style and just exist as a future being. So people think there's aliens walking the earth. No, those aren't aliens. These are some dope ass humans. Allow yourself to continue to shine and be influenced by your own shine. You'll start to notice what things dull the shine and make you feel like you need to play it small. Notice that. Those are portals to hell on earth. To fall for the trap that you need to not be true to yourself is stepping through the portal to hell on earth. I mean, it's literally right there. Like 5D, 40 3D. There it is, 3D right there. Here we are, 5D, 40 3D, okay? So don't give yourself a hard time if you experience some hell on earth. You got 6 months to figure out how to interact with this fifth dimension. Is it 6 months? July's almost over. August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, January 21st. We're good, my loves. You got 6 months to figure out how to let this energy emanate from your body and start to acknowledge that you're in the fifth dimension. And so it's just up to you to interact with your reality from your fifth dimensional state as well. It snuck up on us, the fifth dimension. It really snuck up on us. I'm honored. I'm honored to bring these light codes through for us today. I'm honored that you would choose to watch this video and to hold space for me and be here with me, whether you're watching this now or in a future time. I love you so much. It felt so good bringing through these messages. Oh, such an honor to tap into this energy and to come into this understanding, which I feel so sure about. And I'm just so grateful. It's going to be challenging to the mind, to the left brain, to understand that now is the time to herald in the next renaissance in the golden age of Gaia. Fuck the left brain then. Okay? I love you. Thank you for the love in the comments. Thank you for the hearts. You're awesome. So I'm gonna try and post this on my page and on my YouTube later. So if it resonates, will you share it? Will you share it with a friend? We'll get this message out, let everyone know. Shadow work is no longer work. It should just be able to be like this. Bloop. No. I love you. Have a beautiful day. I'll talk to you later. Bye, my loves.